Hey everybody, this is Kevin and welcome to stages 23 and 24 of the DeAgostini Lotus F1 kit. Today we're going to be doing the seat belts, which is interesting because we haven't even done the cockpit yet, so I find that rather interesting. And then we're also going to continue working on the fuel tank. In fact, this is the fuel tank itself. So we've been doing the fuel cap, the fuel fittings, the valves, all that stuff, but now we're actually going to install the fuel tank. We are going to be working with the main frame, so we got that on the bench ready to go. So let's get to it. Okay, stage 23. Like I said, we're going to be doing the seat belts, which again I find interesting because we have yet to install the cockpit. So I'm not sure what they're going to attach to, but I'm sure DeAgostini has figured it out, so I will trust in them. So let's get the parts out. We do have screws. We've got some HMs and some NPs. We've got this plastic plate here, as well as the seat belts themselves. Let's see if I can get this blister pack open. There we go. Is it actually a fabric? Yeah, it is. Whoops. It is. It's a little, like little ribbon. Pretty cool. All right, so let me get to the instructions and figure out what we need to do. Okay, we're going to take our seat belts now, and there are two posts on this plate, and we are to invert it and put the buckle up into that little slot right there and attach it using an NP screw. It is plastic, so we won't need to oil it. Let's see if I can't get this to hold while I get the screw started. You know, I'm going to try a smaller screwdriver. I think that one's a little too large. Okay, let's try this again. Whoop. There it goes. Okay. So that's one. I'll put the other one right next to it. There we go. Okay, now we're going to flip this over. So you can see these are the shoulder harnesses that come over the shoulders from behind. Now we got to take our other halves, and it shows that we've got to, let's see if I can, we got to loop these up and through. Now I guess we go up and over like that. Up and over like that. Okay, so that takes care of the belts and the upper brace. Okay, this next step is a little tricky. I was dry fitting it off camera and wasn't having any luck until I realized really the only way to hold these on is with a little bit of glue. Because what you're supposed to do is run the lower half through this buckle and then fold it over. And they say to leave it like that. Well, there's nothing to keep it from coming out. So I'm going to feed it through the buckle. And I'm going to put just a dab of gel CA glue on the tip. And fold that over. And just hold it for a second. There. And it holds just perfectly. Okay, we'll do the same to this side. Okay, we'll pinch that for a second. I had my accelerator ready, but I guess we don't need that. Okay, looks like it held, and that looks great. Excellent. Okay, next thing we want to do is we want to flip the car over so we can access the cockpit from inside. And there are two little holes right here, a little post sticking up, and we want to attach this to those posts with a couple of the HM screws, which are metal. So let me just kind of dry fit this into position. There we go. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit bigger screwdriver for this one. We'll go with the number 0. Okay, just a dab of oil. And I'll probably do a loose fit on this first screw just till we align it. Oop, came off the... There. Okay, that's one. And two. Looks like our alignment is good, so I'm just going to go ahead and cinch these down. Okay, those are solid. Let's flip it back on its front, and there's our seatbelts. Nice. Okay, next thing are these two fuel tank brackets. There is one labeled L and one labeled R. You can probably guess what those mean. So here we are on the left side of the car, so I'm going to remove the left bracket from the sprue. Let me clean that up just a little bit with the knife. Okay. And these just simply plug into this little side panel here on the left side of the car. Those should just go in with pressure. Well, they're not going in very flush, so this one's got a little flashing on it, so I'm going to trim this up just a little bit so it fits better. Okay, and we'll go over to the right side. Remove this half. Clean this up a little bit as well. There, that plugged. That actually popped in better than this other half, but they're both in nice and snug. Okay, so that takes care of stage 23. Okay, stage 24. We've got, as I showed you earlier, the main fuel tank. Let's go ahead and open up this behemoth. Looks like we got some sort of flat panel. There's the tank itself, and then we've got a couple packages up top here with some screws and some very important fuel lines. You'll notice there's 2 black lines, and there's also, very hard to see, but there are 2 clear fuel lines here as well. So we'll get those out, and then we've got a bag of, looks like, NM screws, okay? So let me figure out what's what, and we'll get on to stage 24. Okay, first step in stage 24 is inverting the car, which we've already done, and then you take your fuel tank here, and you flip it over as well, and you just drop it right into this open bay here, and it self-aligns itself pretty easily. And then just take your 4 screws, feed them through the hole into the post. Okay, I'm not going to cinch it down yet. I'm just going to make sure all 4 are in alignment. Okay, assuming this threads in, then I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down, and I'll get the rest of them tight after this. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yep, she's solid. Okay, making progress. Okay, now we need to attach the bottom of the fuel tank. That's that flat plate that we had. And it looks like it's just pressure fit. I assume that they might call for glue, but if these snap in well enough, then we probably won't need it. Let's see if they snap. Well, they don't snap, but they pressure fit pretty doggone tight. So there we go. Okay, those are in good. Okay, now it's time for the fuel lines and the oil lines. The instructions call for taking the 2 black ones and inserting them into the 2 fittings that are at the top of the tank here. So we'll try to squeeze this one up and in. I'm gonna have to use my tweezers, I think. Perfect. Looks like my oil tank might have come a little loose. I'll have to maybe re-glue that. I probably bumped it while I was flipping it over. Okay, nice fit there. Okay, now let me turn it this way. Now I want to take the clear lines, and they're going to attach to the 2 fittings on the cap. It's on the oil tank. Okay, that's the tank, and then this one goes on the cap. Just like that. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, okay, that tank came out, so let me just get a little bit more glue. Let me align it from behind. Okay, it's straight. Okay, so I'm just going to leave everything alone. We're going to let that dry, and that wraps up stage 24. Well, that wraps up stages 23 and 24. It's interesting that we had to make a slight adjustment there with the seatbelt, where I had to add a little bit of glue on there to keep those two flaps from, to stay together. I'm not sure why they don't call for that, because there's no way they're going to stay stuck together without something. So just a little dab of super glue are holding them just fine. We got the fuel tank in. We got more fuel lines added on. Now those fuel lines we added have open ends on the other side, so that tells me we still got more things to plug in and build up for those fuel lines, like maybe an engine, which I think is coming up here pretty soon. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.